Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by a man who's now in his 11th season in the league, Matthew Stafford at 31 years of age.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw, Stafford. Finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now the first-round pick from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. He'll get 3 up to midfield. Quickly now, here's a look at the Green Bay offense.
And I think the entire league benefited when Andrew Whitworth made the decision to come back for his 13th NFL season. Still one of the best offensive tackles in the game. 4 Pro Bowls, 2 times first-team All-Pro. He's now 10th among active players in the NFL in games started.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. 16 yards, a first down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Set, lady.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4. On the defensive side of the ball, here are the starters for Detroit. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And his first carry, he loses the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. After all of the turnover woes that they had last week, another turnover on the first drive of the game.
And when you dive into the analytics of football, it's real simple. If you're down in turnover margin, you're not going to win very many football games. The best teams always rank in the upper part of the league in terms of turnover margin.
And last week's number for them was 5 turnovers. And as you saw, another one there. And Detroit getting set to go now.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Hey, man. Watch the boot. Watch that.
Winston now after the fumble recovery. Packer pressure, and down he goes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Jameis to throw it. A right side catch by Crabtree. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. They go play action. Winston. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On fourth down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Back deep, Travis Benjamin. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey, watch it.
And this is Latimer, complete. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
On 2nd and 12, Stafford, wide open receiver, complete, and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 13, it's a first down. Now a first down throw, Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. K1 short with a sack. That's 315 pounds of man right there.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. On second down, Jacobs. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down. Third and long, it's Stafford. Higbee secures it over the middle. And to the 49-yard line, but no further, and obviously he is well short of the first. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll run now with Ware.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they give up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
So the previous play, a big help, as now they'll have it 1st and 10 up at the 20. Running on first down with Ware. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll try to throw now. Winston. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Demarius Randall.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Go. Go.
On first down, it's Stafford. Left side caught by Diggs. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer 1st down. They'll run on first down. It's Jacobs. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Xavier Howard up to make the tackle. Throwing on 2nd down. Stafford. This is caught. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. From the gun, here's Stafford. Out to the right here to Shepard. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
Your trip is here, baby. Your trip is here. 16 yards.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he's able to find Diggs. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Stafford. Pass incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Again, it's Stafford. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Now Greg Joseph for the field goal try. The kick by Joseph is good. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me.
And it's a fumble, and the Packers pick it up. And some room to work. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Greg Joseph on for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
On the run, it's Ware. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On 2nd down, it's Ware. This will go for 5 up to the 33. They'll try and run with Ware. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's Andy Lee now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now.
Yeah, let's go sack lunch.
On first down, Stafford here. Throw right side, going to be caught by Higbee. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Stafford now to throw. This one complete to Sproles. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd? Out of the gun, Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. Play fake. Winston.
In so many ways,
rush coming, and he's taken down. DeMarcus Lawrence, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here's Winston. He's going to air it out deep for Wood. And that's caught inside the 35. 39 yards there, a big one. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. From the shotgun, it's Winston. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. Now Winston, left side here. That's the tight end Fant. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. On the ground, this is Ware. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we... And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Packers pick it up. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
The Packers offense now. They get ready to head back onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Demario Davis, got a hand in to break that one up. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Stafford. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. Getting set to go again here, Robert Woods marches back onto the field. They've got to find a way to get him more involved in this game plan. Down here in the second quarter, he doesn't even have a catch.
And don't think they're not hearing about it in the huddle and on the sidelines. And we often think of wide receivers at times being disruptive. It's just that they know their talents and they know the type of plays they can make, and they can make big ones. They want the ball to help their team.
Yeah, you got to think he's going to want the ball more. One target, no catches. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The Lions on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. Working out of the gun, Winston. That's complete to Meredith. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Jameis to throw it. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. A right side catch by Crabtree. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Winston. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end. That'll bring up 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Winston. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 27 yards there, a first down.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved. And that'll set them back 5. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15.
Here we go, D. Here I come again.
They'll throw again. Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Winston now. Completes it to Fant on the right side. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The Lions on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be third and a mile. To throw, Winston. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So we've come to halftime in a 5-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin out in the Windy City of Chicago. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. Next, we head off to check out another game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line. And a look now at the game so far for Jameis Winston. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try to relax them a little bit and take some pressure off because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off.
Here we go. 53. Mike, 53. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Here we go.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Robert Woods, the intended receiver that time. But it's going to be second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Jameis again. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And this one is right down the middle. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. So here are the Packers now to take over. Last week they got a good victory over the Dallas Cowboys, and they are in the driver's seat here right now as well.
50. Blue 60.
Stafford on 1st down. And this is Latimer, complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Throwing again on 2nd down. Stafford, left side, caught by Diggs.
180.
Now a 1st down throw. Stafford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A good pickup there at 22.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing again is Stafford. Out to the right here to Shepard. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. And he's got it. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Higbee, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 17-8. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 23 yards, the final tally.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Jameis now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They run it here. Where? 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. From the 36, Winston, and he'll find his target, Woods. It's complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 24-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, Winston. His throw caught, went around the 6. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Chester Ryan, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away.
Good work, boys. Let's go.
Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. That's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Stafford, battle for it here, and this will be caught. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
In your face.
On 1st down, Stafford here. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down. On 2nd down now, it's Jacobs. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Oh, heavy Lion pressure here, and they block it. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. As his guys are in for 6, and the Lions have taken the lead.
Partners, you well know every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block. Elliott on for the extra point.
is up to 5.
17.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. He's hoping to channel his first half play. They had the lead at halftime, was playing well. Flip the script here in the third quarter a little bit.
I think he misses the Pee-wee days, you know, when you just get the orange slice at halftime, right? And remember, weren't any real adjustments then, right? You weren't looking at some tape, right? You weren't looking at stuff off of the Surface tablets. You just went back out and played. Right now, maybe the adjustments have caught up to him.
Well, we'll see. Maybe he just needs a couple orange slices here for this drive. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. 2nd and 10, Stafford again. And he finds a man on a crossing route. 11 yards there, first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Running is Jacobs. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
Now a first down throw complete downfield. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one goes for 30 yards. They lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook, and that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders rushing towards the line of scrimmage, then scrambling back trying to cover. Couldn't get there in time.
Well scripted. They had the big running play, now the big passing play. Off of play action, here's Stafford. That is caught at the 7. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and this is scooped up by the Lions. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
So here come the Lions now. And they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way. Take some time off the clock and keep the ball away from their opponents.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. Crabtree the target on that one, and it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, Winston. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Detroit. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Stafford looks to throw again. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Throwing again. Stafford. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Again, it's Stafford. It's caught. Shepard. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. To the air again, Stafford. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you're talking about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. To throw is Stafford. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee, and it's 3rd and 5. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. And he's able to find Diggs. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Out of the gun, Stafford. This will be caught at about the 6. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. To throw again on 2nd down, Stafford.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back.
Oh, no, he lost the football. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Back to throw, Stafford. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
They'll try to run it with Jacobs, and they'll bring him down after just a short pickup.
I think we can figure out why they went for 2 there, right? Up 1, you want to make it a field goal difference if at all possible. They didn't get it. Now they've got to play some defense down the stretch.
Yeah, not much margin for error now for your D. They just have to get it into range. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Jameis to throw it. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The sack coming from Adrian Claiborne off the edge.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one. And they insert their dime package, 6 DBs here on 3rd and 6.
Expecting pass all the way. Draw play. This is Yeldon. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. A great Monday night to wrap up the week in football. 2 division rivals and a great finish ahead as we come up on 1st and 10. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Winston. And that's caught left side. It's Woods. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. A big play there for Detroit. 48 yards.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. Winston now. The quick slant caught. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. From 10 yards out. And the Lions are once again going to reach the lead. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know, they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
They'll try and run it here. And he is not going to make it. So they won't be able to move this lead up to a touchdown as it'll remain a 5-point ball game. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for two?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34.
Here we go.
Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
50. 50's the mic. 50's the mic. Let's go, D. It's going to be a long.
On 1st and 10, Stafford.
Jump.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 36 yards on the play. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind. No pointing fingers, no accusations. Because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on first. Touchdown, Packers! Stephon Diggs with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns as his guys are able to regain the lead.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. They're going to give it to Sproles. And he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they've upped their lead to 3. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. Certainly they want to win this game, but down 3, they know what they need to do. Get in field goal range, at least have a chance to tie.
And if you approach it the right way, you almost have a safety net. Knowing just a field goal gets it done. You don't press for the touchdown, but you take it if the opportunity comes. If the opening's there, someone slips in the secondary and you get a big play. But otherwise, get the 3, put that on the board, and try to extend the game.
They'll be trying to muster 3. Of course, they'd love the score to win it. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. DeMarcus Lawrence, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Winston. That's complete to Meredith. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
That's exactly what they were looking for. If they get another gain like that, they'll be right there in field goal range.
And the tension building. TJ Yeldon, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Back to throw. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football if hit it.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime? Run and kiss situation, not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So now it's 4th down and short, and whatever they do, run or pass it, they've got to pick up the first here.
Yeah, and you mentioned running it. That is still an option, but as you also said, they've got to do it quickly and get back to the line of scrimmage.
And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good. A 4th quarter miss like that, there is no lonelier feeling than that kicker right now.
As we all know, a lot of these games, they come down to special teams. And when that chance comes, you have to perform in order to help your team get over the top.
Could have tied it. Instead, they remain down 3. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. And they're going to go with the jet sweep. This is Diggs with it. And for a 2nd straight play, the Lion defense drops him behind the line of scrimmage. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. Here's Lachlan Edwards now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Lions will take over. Winston readies the offense. Down by a field goal, a little under 50 seconds to go. They need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Winston. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. That's caught over the middle by Fant. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Now Jameis trying to hurry his crew to the line. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Packers, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they'll get another home date next week as the Raiders will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.